Hello and welcome to the show. A Maryland woman has been indicted on murder charges for a second time in connection with the presumed deaths of her two children who vanished without a trace in 2014. Her name, Catherine Hoggle. The first clip I am about to show you was 11 years ago. Let's get into this story.
For Jacob and Sarah Hoggle, who are still missing after being taken by their mother, who now is in jail.
Yeah, police still have no solid leads despite searching all weekend and having the opportunity to question that mother. Jeanette Reyes is following the latest developments. She is now live in Gaithersburg. Jeanette.
Good morning to you, Brad. This is really just a terrifying story. It's been about a week since these kids went missing, and today we are expecting an update from Montgomery County Police on what's going on, what's the latest on this investigation. But this has certainly been an emotional roller coaster for the father here, Troy Turner, who is pleading with the public for any information that they may have. Catherine Hoggle is now in police custody. Montgomery County Police found her Friday night walking in the area of Century Rock Boulevard in Germantown, but there is still no trace of Jacob and Sarah Hoggle, ages 2 and 3. The 27-year-old mother, who has paranoid schizophrenia, will only tell police that they are safe, but won't tell them where they are. Authorities are ramping up efforts to find the children, putting in 17-hour days, and are now using canine units. Just yesterday, they searched 8 areas in Darnestown that didn't turn up anything at all. Their father, Troy Turner, tells ABC 7 News that he doesn't think Hoggle harmed the toddlers and just left them somewhere. He adds that he believes she thinks she's protecting the children, but as I mentioned, it has been a week. No sign of the children, no evidence as to whether or not they are dead or alive. But that press conference is coming up in just a few hours, 11 o'clock this morning. We will have the very latest for you coming up in a full report at noon today. Reporting live in Gaithersburg, Jeanette Reyes, ABC 7 News.
A Maryland mother whose 2 kids vanished more than a decade ago has been indicted on murder charges for a second time. Catherine Hoggle, 38 of Clarksburg, was indicted by a grand jury on Thursday, July 31st, on 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the presumed deaths of Sarah and Jacob Hoggle. The Montgomery County State's Office announced a press release on Monday, August 4th. People has contacted Hoggle's attorney for comment, but did not hear back in time for publication. Authorities have said Hoggle was the last known person to see THREE-year-old Sarah and TWO-year-old Jacob alive when they disappeared in September of 2014. They have never been found. At the time, Hoggle explained to her boyfriend and father of her children that she had placed their daughter and son in a new child care center, but Hoggle refused to divulge the whereabouts. When Troy Turner planned to pick up the children, he told People in 2017. He has since spearheaded countless searches and even launched a Facebook page, Find Sarah, Find Jacob. And I quote, "My job is to find my kids," Turner previously told People, "and bring them home." Hoggle, who has struggled with mental illness, was initially charged with murder, but those charges were dropped after a court found her to be not competent to stand trial. She has spent the past several years in a psychiatric facility, but was released from the hospital last month, according to the Associated Press. She has not commented on the children's whereabouts to authorities. The Montgomery County State Attorney's Office said Hoggle was arrested Friday, August 1st, after investigators learned she had been discharged from the facility. She is scheduled to have a bond review hearing on Monday. Monday, which was yesterday, she had a court hearing and it was delayed. I will play that clip for you right now.
Catherine Hoggle is once again facing murder charges in connection to the disappearance of her children. 2-year-old Jacob and 3-year-old Sarah have not been seen since 2014. Now, Hoggle was supposed to be in court today, but her lawyer asked the court to postpone that hearing until tomorrow. Our Lionel Donovan is at the Montgomery County Courthouse. And Lionel, walk us through what happened today. Good afternoon, Lorenzo. Well, Sarah and Jacob's family filled the courtroom today, including their father, Troy Turner, who showed up wearing a shirt with the hashtag Justice for Sarah and Jacob. They all watched on as Hoggle's attorney characterized these proceedings as problematic, calling it an attempt by the state to sanction Hoggle.
The 2014 disappearance of Sarah and Jacob Hoggle remains unsolved. Today, Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office tried to restart proceedings to determine who's responsible. Catherine Hoggle stands accused of killing her 2 young children. Their bodies have not yet been found. In 2015, a judge found Hoggle incompetent to stand trial, and she was eventually sent to the Clifton T. Perkins Hospital Center in Howard County in 2022. But last year, State's Attorney John McCarthy promised to pursue her if she was ever released.
If that happens, I have pledged that we would go back to the grand jury, refile the charges against her.
A grand jury indicted Hoggle on 2 counts of murder just days after she was released from the Perkins Center on July 23rd. Hoggle was arrested in Kent County on August 1st, just a day after the indictment came down. But her attorney called the arrest problematic and said he wasn't told about any indictment or arrest warrant despite reaching out to the state's attorney's office.
My client had been disappeared for a weekend. It wasn't on the public docket till about 10:15 this morning.
He also said nothing has been shown that says Hoggle is able to stand trial and will be working to dismiss these new charges.
Every judge, every doctor determined that she was incompetent. Even when the state asked for their own doctor, that doctor said that she was incompetent. I don't think anything has changed. There has been no presentation of any evidence that anything has changed.
Now, the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office says it will not be releasing a comment until the hearing takes place. It's scheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Meanwhile, Montgomery County Police say investigators are still looking for the children. Live in downtown Rockville, Lionel Donovan, WUSA 9. Yet another tough moment for this family.
Okay, so now we are all caught up to date. And today, Catherine Hoggle had to appear in court. And I want you all to listen to something that people knew years ago, but never said anything. This woman deserves life in prison. Let's continue.
Do you want to begin with this Fox 5 News alert? The woman re-indicted for murdering her 2 children will stay in custody.
In the last hour, a judge denying bond for Catherine Hoggle more than 10 years after her kids disappeared. Fox 5's Bob Barnard once again outside the Montgomery County Courthouse with the major developments on this case. Bob?
Yeah, hey guys, this is Bob here. Look, this is all just taking place in the last hour here. The judge here, who is hearing some evidence as to whether Catherine Hoggle should be released or not, said, look, she is a flight risk and a danger to herself and the community, especially. Now, take a look. The most recent photograph of her is a mugshot taken last week after a grand jury indicted her on 2 counts of murder, and she was rearrested. We've heard in open court today from Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy, who's prosecuting this case himself, that she had been sent to a halfway house out on the Eastern Shore and was just kind of coming and going on her own, that there were no conditions upon her release from the maximum security psychiatric hospital in Jessup, Maryland. We also heard in open court something that apparently the authorities and the family has known ever since Jacob and Sarah Hoggle disappeared in September of 2014, that at the time of their disappearance, Catherine Hoggle allegedly told a person in a group counseling session before she was arrested, but after the kids were missing in those couple of days, that she strangled her 2 children. And that shortly after that, at about the time she was arrested, several days after the children's disappearance, that with her wallet, police found a drawing of a trash can. Now, State's Attorney John McCarthy would not make a conclusion, but clearly people have known, apparently, and we're just finding out today, that Katherine Hogle allegedly admitted to strangling her kids and drew a picture of a trash can, perhaps indicating that she placed their bodies in a dumpster or something. That is new. That's a conclusion the prosecutors won't make openly to the media or in court just yet. Here now is reaction this afternoon from State's Attorney John McCarthy and Troy Turner, the children's father, after the judge said Katherine Hogle must stay in jail without bond.
I am more hopeful today than I have been in the past, based on the progress that Katherine has made, based on her being released, no longer a danger to herself or others, and they've stabilized her on medication. We never got to that point before.
I don't really know that much changes. After 11 years, like I would say, it's amazing what you can get used to. So, I mean, it's, it feels like, I guess it feels like we're in a little bit of a better place to kind of keep things moving forward one way or the other.
Now, Katherine Hogle had been charged years ago with the murder of her 2 children, but she was declared by the medical doctors that she was incompetent to stand trial and not restorable. That is something, the most recent conclusion made along those lines was in 2022, when those previous murder charges had to be, by statute, dropped because of a statute of limitations, if you will. But in court today, prosecutors are making the argument that she is now competent, that she is restorable, and that she should go forward and face these murder charges in open court. Guys?
Thank you, Bob, for the update. Meanwhile, Fox 5 today visiting the neighborhood in Chestertown, Maryland, on the Eastern Shore, where Katherine Hogle had been living prior to her arrest last week. Authorities say that when Hogle was released from the maximum security state psychiatric hospital in Jessup, Maryland, last month, and was transferred to a group home there in Kent County, a neighbor says she witnessed the arrest at gunpoint. Now, last Friday, another neighbor tells Fox 5 that she has concerns that there's a halfway house in the community that she did not know about.
I would see her sitting out on the front steps. She was always wearing something black, so that's how I knew it was the same person. But this bothers me because we're talking about a person who has mental health issues and may or may not have killed her children. And there are children in this neighborhood. There are senior citizens in this neighborhood. I want to be sure that we're safe here.
Well, meanwhile, Montgomery County Police saying that its officers are says its officers are part of a regional fugitive task force run by U.S. Marshal Service, made the arrest of Katherine Hogle in Chestertown last Friday.
Now, with everything you all have heard from 11 years ago up until today, let me know in the comments if you think Katherine Hogle is competent to stand trial now. Was she competent then to stand trial? And how do you feel that about she was just able to come and go as she pleased at this facility that she was staying at? Let me know in the comments, guys. And don't forget, please, to like, share this video. Please comment and subscribe. Remember, my goal this month is 300 subs by the end of the month. I appreciate you all for watching and listening. Thank you.